Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to the Productive Agent Podcast, and Happy New Year to all of you. My name is Tony Ruiz. I'm the founder and host of the Productive Agent Podcast and Facebook group. Our mission here at the Productive Agent is to motivate, inspire, encourage, and educate those working in the real estate industry or those interested in getting into the real estate industry. Today's episode is entitled New Year, A More Committed Me. So I'm sure several of y'all have looked back on the past year and did some reflection of what you've done well and what you want to improve upon going into 2023. And of course, I did that as well. There was plenty of things to be very proud of, lots of successes. The group, Facebook group, has grown exponentially from when we started, and we launched this podcast successfully, and it's off and running. There are some things that didn't go as well on the sales side. We were pretty much on par with last year's production numbers, maybe just a little bit below. Still solid, but I just know that I can do more. And it's a choice to being more committed to the process and more committed to building a better sales business. Even if you had your very best year last year, there's still another level. If you're being honest with yourself, you can probably raise your standards and take it to that next level and increase your income for 2023. So today I want to talk about some of the things that I'm committing to this year in 2023. I'm not necessarily telling you to commit to the same things, but I'm hoping this would encourage you and inspire you to come up with some things that you can commit to in 2023 to elevate your business. Talking points for today, we're going to talk about the workout streak that was successful last year and then kind of faded off at the end, but I want to get that back up and running. The other thing that I'm taking on this year, and I'm in day 2 of, is the 75 Hard Challenge, which we'll talk about and explain what that is. I want to recommit myself to daily social media posts. I was very active in this at the beginning of my career, and it's paid off. But then I've just kind of withered away a little bit and got not discouraged, but just kind of burned out, I guess, a little bit on doing so. But I want to fire that back up and get more committed to that. And the last thing I want to focus on is a recommitment to my greatness tracker, which is pretty much my daily routine of what are the activities that are going to drive my business forward. Talking about the workout streak, that was something that was really successful last year, and I'm really proud of that. And now I'm making it a game to compete with what I did last year. Back on January 10th of 2022, I started working out, and I went 246 consecutive days of working out. I didn't miss a single day. I was doing different lift programs through Beachbody. I was incorporating long walks, would count for a workout. So every single day, pretty much the first thing I did when I woke up is I put on some clothes and went and worked out. I felt great. It elevated everything about me and my life. My health was better. My mental focus was better. My confidence was better. My energy was better. I truly believe that you working out and moving your body should be a huge part of your daily routine to get the blood flowing and really kick off the start of your day. My question to you is, what is your longest streak of working out? I know previous to last year, I worked out a little bit here and there, but I could never commit to finishing a program. So that's what really motivated me. And I said, look, I'm going to finish this 6-week program. Come hell or high water, I'm going to do it and just see what it feels like. And by the time I got done with the 6 weeks, I felt great and I just wanted to keep going. So I did the exact same program again, and then it just kind of rolled into the new program and a new program. And now it's just a habit that I've created, and I'm really benefiting from that on so many levels, and I think you will too. So I have recommitted myself to the new streak of 2023. starting on Monday. So I am now 3 days in. So the streak is alive for 2023. Let's see how far I can go. Let's see if I could beat 2022 with the number 246. Another thing that I'm taking on, and this was mentioned to me several times by a mentor and my wife, was the 75 Hard Challenge. And I was intimidated by it when I first heard about it. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if I can do that. But I'm going to talk to you real quick about the rules of the 75 Hard Challenge and what that entails. Number one is you have to pick a diet and stick to it. It doesn't matter what kind of diet it is. There's no specifics. It's whatever diet is going to work for you and you're going to benefit from. On top of that, there is no alcohol for 75 days. So for me, I've chosen to do intermittent fasting. I stop eating at 8 p.m. at night, and I don't eat another meal until noon the next day. I know it's not perfect fasting. I do have a coffee in the morning, and I'm drinking water throughout the morning, and I only eat lunch and dinner. Number two on the list for the 75 Hard Challenge is you have to drink a gallon of water a day. And I usually don't drink that much water. And I felt like that was going to be the most challenging thing. But I've figured out that with this new Stanley Cup that I have, not sponsored by the way, but if they want to, I would accept. It's really beneficial because it's a 40-ounce cup. And if I drink 3 of those, that'll be 120 ounces. And I need 6 more ounces on top of that to get to 126, which is a gallon of water. So I broke up my day, and I feel like it's easier this way. Instead of just 1 gallon of water that you're carrying around, you break it up this way and you go, okay, well, I wake up and I start my workout at 6 a.m. and I kind of shut down everything at 9 p.m. So it's a 15-hour window here. And what I do is I have to do 3 of those. So every 5 hours, I'm finishing 40 ounces of water and refilling it. It's worked out pretty easily so far, but I'm sure there will be some bumps in the road as the year progresses. But that's one of the rules. Third rule is read 10 pages of a nonfiction book every day. This isn't too hard for me. I usually do this Monday through Friday, but I have been slacking a little bit at the end of 2022. So I want to recommit to that. And even when I was reading frequently, I wouldn't read on the weekends. I was only reading Monday through Friday. So I'm going to have to make sure that I do read. I did get a little busy this morning and I haven't read that. So after I record this, I'm going to have to take about 30 minutes or so to read 10 pages to make sure that I accomplish my goals for today. The fourth rule is you have to do 2 workouts a day, and 1 must be outside. The workouts need to be 45 minutes each, and they cannot be back to back. So I'm already doing a workout in the morning. That's what I've been used to pretty darn consistently since the beginning of 2022. So I'm knocking that out, and then I start my day, go about my business. And at the end of the evening, before I have dinner, I go for about a 1-hour walk, at least 45 minutes. And that counts for my 2 walks. So far, the weather's been great, but as the cold front blows in, I'm sure it's coming soon. January, February can be a little chilly from time to time in San Antonio. It's going to be tough to get out there when it's either raining or cold. But it's a challenge, and that's why they call it a hard challenge. And the 5th rule is pretty easy, but I think people forget about it, is you have to take a progress picture every single day. So every day, the past 2 days, this is only day 2 for me, I wake up, and before I put on a shirt to go to the gym, I take a picture in the mirror, and a front and a side picture. So those are the 5 rules of the 75 Hard Challenge. And it's not even necessarily a weight loss thing or anything like that. It's more of a mental toughness challenge, because these sticking to this and being consistent with it is going to be tough at some point. Day 2, so far, it hasn't been that tough. But I'll keep y'all updated from week to week and kind of tell you how my progress is going and any struggles that I might be having. If you want to learn more about this, go check out the podcast Real AF with Andy Frisella. Episode 208 talks all about the 75 Hard Challenge and the Live Hard program. So go check that out. Another thing that I want to commit to and focus on this year is social media posts. I'm setting a time to post, and I post something every day. Again, I'm pretty good at posting Monday through Friday when I'm on it, but I rarely post on the weekends. So that's going to be tough for me, but I'm going to make that a priority and put that like on my calendar and schedule it and make it happen. I also struggled with this last year. Like for instance, right now, I get back from the gym around 7-ish. I have a little cool down time, and at 7:30, I'm in the shower. At 8 o'clock, I'm making a coffee, getting cleaned up in the kitchen and putting everything away to have a nice clean setup for the day. At 8:30, I usually do my social media post. And then at 9 o'clock, I set time to read. And then 9:30, I do social media interaction. And then 10 o'clock is really when I'm sitting down and going through my list of people that I need to make sure that I'm contacting for the day. But what was ending up happening was, for whatever reason, I had a block in my head of going, hey, I missed my window to post. I was supposed to post at 8:30 to 9. Well, I'm committing to this year, like it doesn't matter what time it is, even if I got distracted, even if I had an appointment in the morning that I had to go to, whatever, I need to get a social media post up no matter what time it is. Right? Ideally, in a perfect world, I would post around 8:30 to 9 o'clock, preparing it, and it goes out. But I'm going to make sure that that's not holding me back as we go into 2023. So don't worry about the time, just post it. But if you can get a consistent time that you're posting, that would probably be best. Consistency is more important than content. So I know that we stress out about what are we going to post? What are we going to do? If you want some ideas, I have a little bit of consistency on my social media, Instagram. So go check that out. I do like a property of the day on Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Wednesdays, I do a Wednesday wisdom. And then Fridays, like a fun fact Friday type of thing. And Monday is usually like a motivational Monday. So that's kind of my generic base. And of course, I want to like grow from there and add more face-to-face video, stuff like this. So that's at least the bare minimum that I'm doing. Bottom line, post every day, at least once a day on all platforms. I am on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I need to continue to improve on TikTok and stay committed to that. The last thing that I really want to focus on and recommit to is my greatness tracker. And I set this greatness tracker up with my coach, Shane Tokan, and it works. And when I fill it out correctly and completely, it makes a huge difference in my business. So I just need to get back to the basics, right? And fill out and contact the people that I say I'm going to contact. I have it right in front of me when I sit down at 10 o'clock, pull up my computer, pull up everything on my list. It's there, and I start writing in names as I'm contacting people. But a quick rundown of what mine looks like, and you can kind of get an idea of what yours may look like. But I want to do 5 social media interactions. What that is I literally scroll Facebook, I see something that I like, and I drop a comment. Sometimes I just do a like or a love, but I don't count those. I only count them if I leave a comment. And of course, I don't just randomly do it. I do it with purpose and intent. I don't go on every single one and force myself to comment. I want it to be genuine. So I continue to scroll. Sometimes it's easy and I just knock it out right away. Sometimes I don't really see anything that I really want to interact with. So I'll come back to it later and fill out at least 5. I also do 10 follow-ups with hot or warm leads. So these are people that are maybe under contract or searching for a house currently, or are getting ready to get pre-approved and seeing where they're at. So I'm doing 10 of those a day, and then 5 database touches, pretty much talking to my sphere, seeing how they're doing, checking up on past clients, etc. On top of that, I do 2 real estate reviews a day. and 2 personal notes a day. So those 5, 10, 5, 2, 2, that is my job. When I have the time to prospect and make time to prospect, that's what I'm focusing on. And my job is to have conversations with as many people as possible, no matter what way we're doing it, either an email, a text message, a direct message in social media, a phone call, whatever it is. I want to make sure that I'm making as many touches as possible. On top of that, my mentor started this yesterday. He challenged me and like 8 other agents that he knows pretty close to make 5 calls a day. And the rule is it has to be a call. It can't be a text message or anything. It's pick up the phone and dial their number. And ideally, you're having a conversation with them. But what I ended up doing today is I was kind of running late on that, and I ended up doing it on my walk in the evening, and I just kind of went through my text messages, and sometimes we don't even realize that we have a list right in front of us. If you just go to your text messages right now and start scrolling through all of the text messages over the past month, go back to December 1, and just look at all the different names that you have texted and communicated with in the past month. Could you call them? Is there something to call them about? Check in on them, whatever it is, and keep going back to November 1st. And there's even more names. So sometimes we get caught up with like, oh, I don't have my list in front of me. Who am I going to call? Blah, blah, blah. I literally was like, I got to make these 5 phone calls by the end of the day. So I might as well knock this out while I was walking. And I just grabbed my phone and started scrolling. I was like, oh, boom, I have something to say to that person. Make the phone call. So that I'm excited about that. It's stretching me a little bit. It's a little out of my comfort zone. I'm more of a text guy and a message guy, but I'm excited to take on that challenge. So bottom line is my final thoughts as we wrap up this episode is we want to win the day. And again, Andy Frisella talks about this and focusing on what you can do on a daily basis. And you don't really want to do more than 5 critical tasks. All right. So we think of like a to-do list, and it might be 15, 20, 25 things that you jot down like, oh, I got to pay the mortgage. Oh, I got to pay this bill. I got to do that. I got to go buy groceries, whatever it is. And then like write them all down, but pick like the 5 most critical tasks that need to get done today and just focus on knocking those out. For me, those 5 things are my social media interactions, my follow-ups with hot and warm, my database touches, my real estate reviews, and my personal notes. Boom. I've decided that going into today. So those are my 5 critical tasks. I should be trying to knock those out every single day. With that being said, it's not going to happen every single day. Not a single team or individual is going to win and have a perfect season. So don't beat yourself up when you have a day that just took over your time and you didn't get around to doing it. What is the most important thing is that you focus on trying to win the day. Throughout your week, you're probably going to have some L's, all right? But the goal is to have more wins than losses. So throughout a 7-day week, if you have more wins, if you have 4 wins and 3 losses, you technically won the week. Okay. And then when you start stacking wins up and you win a second week and a third week, all of a sudden maybe you lost the fourth week, but you still had 3 wins and 1 loss. You still won the month. All right. And then obviously when you start winning month after month after month and stacking that up, all of a sudden you have more months that you won the year. But it all boils down to focusing on just the daily activity, the 5 tasks that we need to get done, all right, and taking and moving our business forward. What is the action that I can do today? I can't make $1 million today in my business, but I can make a phone call or a text message that might lead me to business that is going to earn me $1 million in the next year. All right. So that's just an example. And I want you to think about that and process that. And what are the things that you can set up on a daily basis that you can recommit to or commit to in 2023 to elevate your business to the next level? So that's all I got, guys. That's the show. I really appreciate y'all listening. Please give us a review and a rating. That would really help us grow. I invite you to join our private Facebook group called The Productive Agents. You could also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. All of the links are in the show notes. So please go share this show with a friend. If you found value in this and know that they can get something out of it, I'd really appreciate you sharing it. So we thank you for joining us today. Now let's get out there and go produce.